Hey guys, today's Monday, no news Monday, and yeah, trading Nasdaqistan today. They're really highly manipulative, but still we managed. And yeah, today just doing a quick trade breakdown. As always, basically, yeah, took many trades today. Lots of break-even trades, but also some stop outs and really good partials. Ended the day with a small win. So we are up on a day, but yeah, not really easy trading conditions as you can see right here. So really much high resistance, much manipulation, as you can see right here. Yeah, so before we go into the trades I took, as always, quick breakdown of today's conditions. So yeah, we are definitely not having easy conditions on a daily chart. Yeah, just back and forth right here, high resistance, trading basically within the range of the high right here and the low right here. And I think to frame any bullish or bearish bias on the daily chart for the long term is not really easy, and therefore we just don't do it. Therefore we have to rely more on like our only daily conditions and not like our weekly trend. So definitely, as you can see right here on the body already, we do have a bearish day. And yeah, I think with that we can drop to the hourly, and that's really important right here. So market maker buy model being in play, but we have SMT. So kind of this market maker buy model is finished and is already leading towards the downside and indicating bearish conditions. Why? Because we have yeah, this bearish SMT with ES and therefore indicating weakness on NQ. Also, what was important to me right here is the daily gap right here. It's a bit larger because I also included yeah, the previous gap, daily gap right there. And to me important was also, as you can see right here, the 4-hour gap, which is basically the high right here, so the price liquidity. And also, as you see, the quadrants of the huge wick right here, it's just standing out, and right here we also scrapped the liquidity, so that's definitely a more important price area. And as you can see right here, we trade also back to CE, so kind of also reacting to it. Yeah, from there we can drop to the 50-minute charts and talk about the session. So I trade into the new day opening gap, and from then really expanded lower, trading into the huge high time frame gap right here. London slowly trading higher, Yokum kill zone also still, yeah, just trading a bit lower, slower. And then with 9:30 opening up, we dumped to the downside, scrapped Yokum kill zone, sales liquidity, also equal lows right here, London lows, and also external sales liquidity. And also trade back to the CE level, and from then we now have high resistance higher. Yeah, so that's basically our conditions which we are trading in. But as you know, really important to me as always is regular trading hours to frame a better bias. And also right here we have kind of difficult conditions. Why? Because we just have really huge new open range gaps, so yeah, huge gaps on regular trading hours every single day. So trading a lot within many inefficiencies, so it's definitely difficult to frame a yeah, a bias. What was definitely important to me is the sales liquidity right here and also right here, and therefore also the gap right here. How we react basically on the quadrants and how we react there, I'm definitely looking at a 5-minute chart right here, and we can see that we definitely respected CE right here. That's definitely important if we take a look in a second on the manipulation which occurred right here. But yeah, slowly trading higher, as you know, on a new open range gap, which is larger than 120 handles. We want to see that we trade back to the upper quadrant level at least. So in that case, lower quadrant level, because we have a discount gap. And yeah, as you see right here, we kind of still yeah, failed to do that. But yeah, definitely the 9:30 opening price is also important with that. And we don't really want to chase any shorts in here because we're really already oversold in that case. Already scrapped regular trading hours, says liquidity, and so on. So that's just yeah, should you keep in the back of your mind. So now back to the trades I took today. So really patiently waiting basically. With the opening we trade lower, nothing really I want to chase in here because we scrapped so many says liquidity, and then we had actually a really kind of clean setup right here. So we were trading towards the bearish gap right here, and I'm looking at that and expecting a inversion gap setup. So basically market maker buy model, 930 manipulating lower, and that's what I wanted to see. Also trading back to the CE level of the 4-hour wick, and that's kind of a clean trade. So entered right here because we really traded aggressively higher, therefore it's not really always easy to wait for everything. We got our CST right here as well, so really clean in that case. You could also say we got it already right here, but I like it a bit more right here because that's the lowest down close candle. So maybe you can also mark it out right here. And yeah, from then we really expanded higher. But why today was also really difficult is because we have so much SMT being in place. So ES already traded higher with the opening, while NQ expanded slower. And therefore we have SMT right here, we have SMT at the lows, and right here at the highs as well. So really already indicating difficult conditions. Nevertheless, I kind of like the setup right here. I was convinced that we would need a retracement, but really not easy conditions. Why? Because we have so many so many huge wicks on the hourly chart as well to the downside. That's why it's a bit more difficult. Because to me that's kind of unfinished business down here. So that's definitely trendline liquidity. We sweep that, yes, we sweep external size liquidity trade also into the 4-hour wick right here, but kind of we miss out on a body close, so therefore really difficult bias to frame. And if we drop to the 50-minute chart, it's basically the same. So just huge wicks to the downside. Also in the 5-minute, that's really much manipulation, high resistance, and that's actually what we want to avoid and what is to be expected on a no news Monday still. I don't know. I think today was still so to me the opening right here really looked clean, especially with the setup right here. So, and I also was really convinced that we would trade higher, and I think I definitely also managed well with how I basically saw the draw for price today, because once I basically got break even, or no, is it a break even? Yeah, once I got break even right here, I entered short, also added right there. Actually got stopped, but as you saw, we really manipulated lower because there was definitely some reason to trade lower. Once again, because of the higher time frame, the hourly chart, there's still unfinished business. We only trade barely to CE levels, so that's definitely also we have to be aware of. And also the many bearish SMTs being in place. So also with the 10 AM open right here, using the 10 AM wick perfectly, basically respecting the quadrants levels right here perfectly. So that's kind of really indicating bearish price action, and therefore I think the setup right here was not really as bad, but in the end of the day, I am chasing price right here. Price is lower because we are definitely oversold. We did not trade back to the lower quadrant level of today's Newton range gaps, so therefore not the best version to trade it, I guess. And yeah, then we trade only back to the inversion for gap right here, a bit too aggressive retracement to still be in the long right here. For me, I don't really like to stay with my wide stop this long, so I like to go break even and see low resistance price action. So got stopped right here, entered long, got highly stopped out right here, a bit even lower than my stop was. So I don't know what this was, but I don't know. But then so why did I took now the perfect long right here? That's really important to understand. I think that's a bit difficult to get, because it kind of really looks bearish, but it's just manipulation to the downside. We clear up basically the lows down here, trade back to the CE level, and more importantly, what I mentioned before, if we drop to regular trading hours, we can see that we still respect the CE level right here perfectly. So the body is really respecting it. Even if we do have this long wick right here at 10:15, we still close basically above CE, and also with the next candle opening up, we still trade higher. So definitely respecting the level right there, and therefore I am still bullish, and I do believe that we're going to trade higher. So that's the manipulation right here we had. And also on the lower time frame, so 1 minute time frame, we can see we have 2 wicks, and 2 wicks is basically already like a balanced price range, so we do not really need to trade back to it. And with the wick right here, we basically trade into the rejection block of the balanced price range, and from there on trade higher. And then what I really like is the fact that we create SMT. So that's kind of indicating, okay, we are definitely going to expand higher. And to me right here, that's the perfect long. Yeah, that's definitely perfect long. Went break even, I think, above here. First part right here perfectly at the 930 opening price. And yeah, I was aiming basically for the excess liquidity right here, and also higher prices, I guess, the high time frame gap, Newcomb kill zone, and as you know, the low quadrant level of today's Newcomb range gap. But yeah, we came down high resistance once again. That's why we have a high resistance day. And yeah, eventually I would have liked to take my second partial right here, but yeah, we saw this really aggressive retracement, and where did I get stopped? I get stopped right here at the low of the retracement. So that's a bit crazy today. So as you see right here, I mean, we do not really, or I do not really want to see that we trade this much lower than below the 10 a.m. opening price. So as you see right here, the candle is already reacting to CE. That's what I want to see for your bearish. But yeah, I kind of also really a bit unfortunate, I think. Yeah, it's a bit crazy because I expected so it's kind of obvious that we do see a short-term run on stops with the before the London close macro, because with the London close macro we will expand higher if we are still bullish. But yeah, just to get stopped right there is a bit unfortunate, I guess. But yeah, it is what it is. And still took this really nice long right here. That's kind of a Powell trade. Why? Because we trade basically based off the 10 a.m. opening price. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that we react to the quadrant levels of the 10 a.m. wick right here. And that's what we did, and that's perfect. Entered within the breaker, or basically of the reaction. Also added right there, I want to see that we stay only within the upper fair gap right here. I want to see that this gap right here remains as a breakaway gap. Why? Because we have down close candle, up close candles. I want to see that this is a yeah, short-term market maker buy model. I want to see low resistance right here. We are now within our long close macro. I want to see that we expand higher, so therefore I'm content with getting stopped right there. Once again, in my opinion, too deep retracement into the breaker. For me, not really necessary. I mean, we trade so much in here at the 10 a.m. opening price. So I think I don't really get why we traded all this way down, but I guess it's just, yeah, high resistance, and that's what we just get on a no news Monday. And then I still took this last long right here because once again we see SMT, and SMT is basically a really high confirmation that the trade is going to play out. So it's like a really high probability. Entered right here, wanted to see that we use the bearish gap right here as a breakaway gap. Also use basically the bullish gap right here once again, so the breakaway gap, and also the bullish gap right here is support higher, and that's what we did. So really beautifully expanded higher, took my first partial right here and got stopped right here. And yeah, with that I ended the day in green, I guess, but still today really I don't know, a bit unsatisfying, I guess. Really much high resistance. I think there are some trades which are avoidable. I guess definitely the short right here is kind of avoidable, but yeah, I don't really know. I think I'm still definitely content how I trade today. What I could have done differently is think about closing my whole position, basically, for example, right here, because this right here a really good trade, and we know that today is definitely a more difficult day. Than we can also look only for the low-hanging fruit, and that's the same with right here. Basically, could have also closed my second partial right here, but once again would have liked that we just trade back to the upper quadrant level of, so lower quadrant level of today's Newcomb range gap. That's what I look for. Kind of a bit missing out on today's bullish expansion, which I kind of expected. So we are really just trading in high resistance since 9:51, so only high resistance higher, and therefore it's a bit unsatisfying. But yeah, I think for such a difficult trade and day, not trade, for such a difficult day, I definitely managed well. I like how I was aware of the fact that we are not going to trade lower right here, that I did not chase anything lower right here, and I really like I think every 3 longs in here, and I guess the stop right here is just a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so that's the trade of today. Yeah, was definitely a long breakdown, but was also not really easy for today. So I think definitely something that you, I don't know, to be aware of. Hope you liked it. Safe trading, guys, and see you soon.